Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are doing good and safe. Here we all are for Forensic Science Conference. Sorry. Here you all are for Forensic Science Conference on legal aspects of forensic medicine with Parul University. Today we have three honorable speakers with us who are Dr. Akhil Saiyed, Dean and Director of Parul University of Law, Dr.Shivani R. Pandya, HOD Department of Forensic Science, Parul University of Applied Science, Parul University, and Dr. Rajesh Kumar Singh, Associate Professor, Parul University Institute of Law, Parul University. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. Akhil Saiyed, who is here to acknowledge us by sharing few words with us. Welcome, sir.
A very good afternoon to one and all. I am very much thankful for inviting me for such an interesting conference on legal aspect of medical forensic. Mr. Dr. Rajesh informed me about the participation and the alliance of the Parul University with Forensic India. So we immediately accepted that offer and we welcome their kind gesture. The same is here also. But Miss Harshita, I would like to know whether I am supposed to give few words or some technical input.
Sir, whatever you like.
Dr. Rajesh?
Yes, sir. Sir, Harshita ma'am. Harshita ma'am.
Hanji, sir.
Please just give the brief introduction. Okay, I will just brief about Dr. Akhil sir.
No, it's not Dr. Rajesh. It's not about my introduction. Then let me say a few of the things which I would like to share. My introduction, I am very much happy that nearly 100 registrations are been there, and I could see in the Google Meet also 99 participants present, and of course many would be watching online. So, and probably none of them would be interested in my profile in knowing what am I. Rather, they are here to know what the forensic science is. I know very much, I do have very little knowledge about the forensic science, though I do have master's degree in physics. And that interest in physics has developed interest in ballistic. So, with kind permission of the chair of the session, I would just share something about forensic ballistic. May I?
Yes, sir. Please start.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So my idea is to talk about the forensic ballistic and the significance of forensic ballistic in crime detection and investigation. I hope my screen is visible to all, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah, when I asked maybe visible to all, that doesn't mean that everyone has to answer. Even one representative answer will suffice. Fine. So I know that there are two other speakers also, so I would not take much time because they focus more on the medical forensic, and apparently this forensic ballistic, you might feel that it is this doctor is going to talk about the physics of ballistics. Yes, that is my specialization, the physics, and I like physics and I love ballistic also. But today I'll just give you the connection of this physics, the forensic ballistic, to the medical science, and there I'll just stop. So that is what is a journey from physics to forensic physics, forensic ballistic, and from forensic ballistic to the medical science. I need not to define what the forensic science is, because you know the application of science in the field of law to determine the truth is called the forensic science. Ballistic is the branch of applied physics which deals with the motion of a projectile, and all the students who are with the science background in their higher secondary would have definitely studied the projectile motion, right? The projectile motion and in a two dimension. So this is what we are going to talk about. Actual practice is in a three dimension, and that is what we know. The real space is a three-dimensional space. But whatever you have studied in 11th standard about the projectile motion, that will suffice as an X and Y plane itself. And that ballistic has been used for the crime detection. Where this has been used, of course, whenever the ballistic weapons are being used. And what are the ballistic weapons? You know, ballistic weapon, all kind of guns and cannons weapons are usually, they are of the nature of the ballistic. And that science which deals with the investigation of firearms, ammunition, and the problem arising out of their use. So all the problems, whatever about their projectile motion, target, their initial velocity, the final velocity, their penetration power, everything comes under forensic ballistic. Itself is a very wide and in-depth subject, but we will just have a glimpse of that. That is about the gun ballistic, where, as I mentioned, the trajectory of the bullet has been reconstructed so that exactly the position of the accused and the position of the target can be understood, and the actual cause which has been which has led to the commission of the crime could be understood. It's not only about the trajectory, but also the kind of firearms which has been used, its initial velocity, what kind of gun velocity it has, and also when the bullet fires, it never goes in a straight direction. It spin about its own axis. So that is a gyroscopic motion of the bullet, and that also gets distracted or influenced by the environment and the wind or any other medium also. So that also is a different part of the gun ballistic. Why it is to determine the category, model, and the type of the firearms, to identify what actually, whether the firearm which the police has recovered commission of the offense or something, to establish that. It is very, very essential to get into the internal ballistic and the external ballistic. So where is the third one of a ballistic, the study which happens with whatever happens within the gun. So that talks about the groove which has been created on the outer side of the box, and the kind of mark which is made by the firing pin on the on that. These things are the part of internal ballistic. Of course, an external ballistic, of which I do have an interest, that talks about the time of flight, initial place to the destination of that fire bullet, and also also the complete path or the speed by which it has the deceased or the victim. This is internal ballistic and external get over. The actual part begins for the forensic medicine, that is in the third part, and that is called the terminal ballistic. That is also called the impact ballistic, wherever this ballistic weapon has created. Usually, whenever the stick, wherever injury has been caused, it has also been of wound ballistic, because the wound, from the examination of the wound, medical professionals are here. They judge that what the firearm and what might be the position of the accused. So the firing, it also investigate whether that been that other weapon. It also identifies or determines the caliber type of the projectile which has actually caused the wound. These are things looking to the wound, one can would have been used. It also helps that was that the exit hole, entrance hole of that bullet. In case of fake and important aspect to be established